What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, as you can see, we finally have some more sneak peek information for the brand new Brawl Talk, which is coming out tomorrow. So usually a day before Brawl Talk, Brawl Stars always put out a tweet with a good graphic to kind of hint towards what could be coming with the brand new Brawl Talk. And then of course you've got the thumbnail and the premiere of Brawl Talk. So let's just dive straight into it. So you can see by the Brawl Stars Twitter, literally about 30 minutes ago or so, we see the hashtags Ranger Ranch, Hypercharge, and Brawl Talk. So straight away, if we dive into the graphic, then from what I could see, there wasn't really that many hints in comparison to other graphics. In my opinion, the other graphics, I feel like there's a lot to really dive into, but let's just try and pick apart what we can really see on our screen. Maybe we miss a few things as usual, but I feel like we've got everything so far. So the thing that everyone is kind of talking about in the comment sections is like this little bomb, I guess it is. Like, it's, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a new attack for a new brawler that's coming. That's probably my hint, because that doesn't really correlate in my head to anything that's in the game at the moment. So that's just my thinking with it. We saw in previous graphics as well that Belle and Sam are trying to, trying to break into like a gem mine. They're trying to get the gems, and it looks like the gems are what's being used to power up the brawlers into this hypercharge. So this is probably what the environment is going to be about this season. So like the jailhouse, they're trying to break in because of course there's something protecting it, right? There's security cameras and whatever else. So the thing that stood out to me straight away, of course, we see Belle here. So again, I feel like the robot that they were building in animation, I'll pop it on the screen in a second, is that they're building up this robot and it'll probably be their trio. I was talking about it before in the previous video. I think it's got to do something with it, right? Because it is literally their environment and they're missing someone in their trio. So one thing I would like to point out is that she's holding a cookie. Like, I know it might seem a little bit weird, but normally that is a reference to something. I don't know what it could be referencing to. Maybe like a cookie skin or something like that. I don't know. Normally these small little details do play a part in things. And then we see again, is that like a brawler's attack, or is that the same robot that we've seen in the Hypercharge? I'm not completely sure what it is because it's quite dimmed down. I think it might be the robot in my mind, or again like a brawler's fist or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. It maybe even looks like the Mega Knight from Clash Royale. It's a hard one. This graphic is actually hard to pull apart. So again, we see Spike. I don't know. Spike's just always in his graphics, just lurking. I guess they just do this just to troll us at this point. We see, I don't even know what this is on the left. Oh, it's that. Oh, I remember. If you go back to the other graphic, let's actually go back to it in a second. We'll go back to that at the end. But if you go back in the other graphic, I swear this is literally the Shelly skin that we kind of seen in the background. We see Shelly as well down here. And again, there's nothing from my mind that really points me to anything else in the Brawl Talk. Like, I can't really see anything else. It was a little bit disappointing, but again, I think the biggest hint is probably, of course, the environment. It's going to go back in time, probably. There's a lot of Shelly. There's a lot of Colt in the animation yesterday. I feel like we're going back in time either to Retropolis or, of course, to like a new Gold Arm gang. Well, it is Jailhouse. So let's go back to the graphic that was actually the other day as well. So we can kind of link back to this Shelly skin. So if you go back to this graphic right here, you can see there's like a Shelly with a bandit, with the classic Shelly skin, basically, with like lights on it. That is that being portrayed again. So are we getting a Shelly remodel? Are we getting a brand new Shelly skin? Is it to do with the environment? I'm not completely sure, but there's something to do with it. Again, like this weird figure. I think this figure right here, this figure looks like the one that is at the bottom here. Like, it's got the same round shape to it. Again, not entirely sure what it is, but I think that is pretty much it in terms of the graphic. Let's probably jump into the Brawl Talk now. On the Brawl Stars YouTube right now, there is a premiere to the Brawl Talk, and this is the thumbnail for it. So it's zoomed in thanks to the Chosen One. Again, he always points out how long the Brawl Talk is. So 30 minutes, which again confirms that there's going to be a roadmap, but literally this thumbnail doesn't really give too much, really. It's just a new community manager and Danny fighting in a boxing match, and then we see, of course, the new brawler, which again looks like this robot that was in the animation to me anyways. And yeah, nothing really else to really point from that thumbnail. Now we're jumping over to the Brawl Stars YouTube channel, where you can see straight away their premiere for Brawl Talk. It's a little bit glitched because I'm using an air server, but I'm not really missing out much. I'm just missing out on the thumbnail on the screen. As you can see by the title, Hypercharge, Mecha Skin, and more roadmap. And then you can look in the description as well. There's a free pin that you can collect, which I guess they're going to actually say how you can get it in the Brawl Talk, but it's already there in the description. So you may as well go pick it up now whilst you can. And yeah, talking about what's actually in the title then. So Hypercharge, we already know what's coming there. Mecha Skin, there's probably going to be a really insane Mecha Skin like a Mortis skin. Probably going to be a legendary skin, let's just face it. All the Mecha Skins are legendary as well. So there's going to be a really hype one. Imagine like a Colt Mecha Skin or like a Shelly Mecha Skin. I don't know, it's got to be like a popular brawler. It's already been Mortis in the past, so I can just presume it's going to be one of the more popular brawlers in the game. Let me know your predictions in the comments. And of course the roadmap, which was already announced in the podcast, I believe, in the past, which was going to be confirmed in this Brawl Talk. Basically the roadmap is it literally says what it is. It's a roadmap to the future, so we can see what updates are coming soon. It happened last year because the community was a little bit frustrated with the lack of good updates, so they put out a roadmap to really give us some hope, and we've done the same again. So hopefully we get some really juicy information with it. Alright guys, so now we're going to be jumping into my predictions for Brawl Talk and also what I want to see with the brand new update. So of course, the primary feature about this update is going to be a big gameplay change. So what I'm hoping and what I'm kind of predicting is, you know, kind of predicted Power 12 with my latest video. I hope it's not Power 12. I don't know. Like Frank did say a bunch, and I know you guys were kind of ripping into me in the comments. He was saying that it won't be coming anytime soon. I guess it's probably not the right time for Power 12 at the moment, but you know, you've got to realize that it's going to be behind some kind of, I won't really say paywall feature, but it's going to cost a lot, basically, whether that is with gems, whether it's with coins, I don't know, whether it's through, you know how Clash Royale did it, for example. They did it through elite wildcards, which is just wild. I'm a little bit scarred from that update, so I know that it's a completely different game, but you know, it reminds me of evolutions from Clash Royale, basically. So I hope they don't do it the same way. And yeah, in terms of expectations, and so again, I think the primary focus is literally going to be on Hypercharge. It's going to be some big gameplay feature, which we've of course not really had in the game for a while. I think the last good game-changing feature was back in gadgets, like what, 3 years ago now, because gears really did hit the mark, really lackluster. I didn't really like the gears update, and of course a lot of people didn't either. So I'm expecting big things with Hypercharge. We already spoke about it briefly, how I think it will either be like a secondary super in the fact that like it might recharge after your first one. It might just be a completely different button, because again, if you've seen on my Twitter, basically one of the dev teams, V, who's actually in the podcast, I think I was one of the first people to point this out, is that he commented on a post that literally stated, I'll put it on the screen, that stated that the guess was wrong. So the guess that basically the most of the community was saying was completely wrong. So that could be an intel to, you know, my prediction was maybe another button. You know, Danny said it a bunch in podcasts. It's been spoken about for like over a year now, I believe, been hinted and kind of floated the idea, even back years ago, even like the idea of another button was floated about for a while. Because let's face it, Brawl Stars isn't the most advanced game. Like, I know a lot of people want another button, but it is pretty simple, right? We have auto aim, we have teaming in showdown. Like, what else does the game need to make it simple? Does the game want like an auto walk feature? Does it want an auto goal feature? You get what I mean. But yeah, I just think the primary focus is going to be on the it is going to be, and by the way, I got a match arena pin finally, but it is going to be on the Supercharge. In terms of what I want, I just want this to be implemented pretty well. I want some good balance changes, and I hope the Hypercharge feature doesn't completely break the game, because again, in Clash Royale, these like evolutions completely broke the game. They were so overpowered. I hope whatever brawlers get it, I don't think all 70 brawlers are going to get this Hypercharge, just because again, you go back to like gadgets when they were introduced, I believe, or star power, or I think it was second star powers, they weren't all released at the same time. I believe they were released in like batches, so maybe we'll get like 20 brawlers with it, maybe we'll get like 10, etc. Definitely won't get 70 brawlers with the brand new Hypercharge. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your Brawl Talk predictions in the comment section below. I think my only prediction is that Squeak's going to get nerfed in terms of balance changes. Everything else, I'm a little bit unsure of this, but it's going to be some exciting times, I believe. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.